Lonnie and Friends and your channel, right?
Yeah.
The legends, those who paved our way. In every single chapter, we're here to stay. Breaking down plays.
Good evening, everybody. How you doing? And welcome to the Chasing the Highlights podcast. I'm Lonnie Washington. I'm with my good friend Tony Robinson. How you doing, Tony, tonight?
What's up? How you doing?
Not bad. No, you're a little bit under the
weather. Trying to get over this cold or whatever I had.
You toughen it out, man. That's what we expect the OGs to do, right? You're a little sick, but that ain't gonna stop you. So that's good, man. Good to see you on. We wanted to get on here tonight with our Chasing the Highlights podcast, start talking some NBA. I know we're simulcast tonight also on my Facebook Live, Tony's Facebook Live, and also
YouTube
you on YouTube too. So we're there, Lonnie and Friends. If you're seeing this, we are part of Chasing the Highlights too. And then I know, Tony, you have your channel too on Tony Sports Talk. So we're live there too. So everybody, welcome into the program tonight. We're just going to talk a little bit about the NBA tonight and kind of what's going on out there. We just had a game that just ended. We still got games going on right now. The New York Knicks won their game tonight, 108-102 against the 76ers. Embiid was a late scratch, with knee and with ankle problems too, and hip, whatever it is, what's new. He's probably could be one of the best big men in league history if he stayed healthy, but he can't seem to stay healthy. And tonight, the 76ers played a better game tonight. Looks like they had a little bit more rest. They didn't have to worry about, Embiid, and they've played a good portion of the season without Embiid anyway. So they fought towards the end,
Your screen is freezing.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
So, thanks. Is it back now?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and so it's been a problem. So overall, this game tonight, I know you saw just a little bit of it. What do you think about this series? Do you think the 76ers can muster up, a couple of wins at home when they play in a few days to try to get back even in this series, Tony?
Watching this game so far, I mean, the 30-something point blowout in the first game, that makes it tough for me to believe the 76ers has a chance. They look good as a team when they play together. But sometimes I see they look better without Embiid, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense to a lot of people, but watching him play with like Drummond, like a old vet guy that can just fill in, just filling in, just whatever, doing what he got to do to be the vet and just rebound, block shots and stuff like that. But I think they kind of like when Embiid comes back, they feel like Embiid has to get the ball and he's shooting threes when he should be inside. Like he's too big to be on the outside shooting threes all the time, in my opinion. But I feel like I don't know, the Knicks are just too scrappy and stuff like that. But we'll see how they play at home. I mean, we need if Embiid doesn't play, Drummond has to get more than 6 points. He has to get at least 15 because I
Well,
don't know.
Maxi can't do it by himself, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
Maxi playing, playing his tail off, and he has to get it from Paul George somewhere.
Yeah.
Paul George and Edgecombe had actually a decent game tonight too. The young rookie, he's been, when he's shooting his threes, he's locked in, and
I
he can
mean,
give just overall, I think that they're not better with Embiid, as long as Embiid is getting up and down the court and playing defense, and then causing foul trouble for Cat, on the offensive side of the ball, as he's doing those things, it's not a problem. But when he's not on, when Embiid's not on and he's just out there, he's a liability.
well, for me, for me playing basketball when I was younger, when you have a player coming in and out of the lineup, it's like it throws the chemistry off. Like you're getting used to like playing without him, and then he comes back, after being injured. And it's not his fault for being injured, but at the same time, it's like it kind of throws the chemistry off. So it takes a little while for the team get back to gelling and stuff like that. And then they start, they start depending on him being there. Then he goes back out
Yeah.
again. So it's like that. It kind of throws the mindset off a little bit. But everybody here is professionals, though. At the same time,
Yep.
so there's no excuses. So when it comes down to in between those lines, you got to play consistent every single game. You can't, you got to find some way to stop somebody too. You can't let Brunson do what he does every single time. Brunson he has the old man game. He knows where you want to get to. This dude is nasty to me. I mean, he's undersized compared to like the bigger guards nowadays, but he gets the job done. So hats off to the Knicks.
Yeah, big. I mean, no, and then just so how I look at it is that the Knicks should go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now the big question is that who would they play if they went to the Eastern Conference Finals? That's a good transition right there. The Cavs are down 0-1 against the Pistons. I didn't even watch the game last night. Really, I kind of saw some of the highlights of the game. But it just seems like the Pistons finally got their mojo back. They're starting to look like, at least one of the top two teams in the East. And, the first couple of games, with Orlando, they didn't look like this, right? They didn't look like this. It looked like Orlando was going to put them out in a massive 8-1 upset, 8-1 matchup upset. And all of a sudden the Pistons just start, finally playing how they know how to play. And so that's been a big deal too. And the Cavs, they have no excuses this year. Let me just say that they have no excuses. We know that they're the fourth seed this year, and they have no excuses. They went out and got James Harden added to that backcourt, and he's 37 years old. But he's he got to average more than 15 points a game in order for them to be effective in this playoffs. And it doesn't seem like he has had some problems in the playoffs in the past with fading. And so, as a 37-year-old player, I wonder, are we seeing just who he is now or what? Because now you got to play defense. Now the playoff intensity is a little bit different. And, there's no he should be able to average 20 to 25 points a game. So, those are your boys. So what you got to say about them?
Well, I mean, it's usually in the first game of every series is a fill out game. But I hold that with the little kind of like, because I don't have LeBron James to say that. Usually I would say that with LeBron James on my team, but usually the first game is a fill out game where they fill out like, okay, how they coming out and playing, stuff like that. And then the next game it kind of turns on its head and changes a little bit. But I just feel like I said this on a post that I did on TikTok about it, about Harden and Mitchell not showing up. They should be averaging 30 points a game. 30 plus. In the 40, it should be 40 plus to me. The caliber of players they are and stuff like that. So, but the key thing about this game to me was because Jared Allen had foul trouble at the beginning of the game, and the game 7 of the previous series that they were in, he went off 20 some points, 19 rebounds, or whatever he did there. But he came here and it just he was never able to get his footing. So those points are missed. He would at least 15, 20 points we win the game. And his defensive prowess, like how he plays on defense, he would slow those guys down. They wouldn't be able to come to the lane like they were because Cunningham was
Hmm.
just backing down Mitchell and just shooting over top of him easily.
All day.
Yeah, if Mobley or if Allen was there, he would have been there to at least deter the shot, not just let him
Hmm.
shoot over top like that. So there's a lot of things that will change the next game because of how what happened, foul trouble and stuff like that. So with certain players, so they just got to score more, especially Harden and Mitchell, and
Yeah.
play some more defense. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't think they could go down 2-0. I think they got to steal one of these
I
games
think we
in
still in this
Detroit.
next one. We still in this next one. We have
Yeah.
to.
You got to steal it. I mean,
We
you
have
it's
to.
you know
Yeah.
you and but the Cavs are have the talent to actually be down 0-2 and
Yeah,
then
we're
go win
deep.
2 games at home.
We're deep. Like our
Yeah,
team
you
is
got the
deep.
talent. It's not like you can't do
Yeah.
it, but you don't want to get into a 0-2 hold.
No.
And especially with the expectations of this Cleveland team. You know,
Yeah.
um,
And I'm not taking anything away from the Pistons either. The Pistons are a good team. Like we talked about before about the Cade Cunningham. He's coming off that collapsed lung, so he's getting his footing now. Well,
well,
now
his
he's getting his
his getting his win.
he's
He's
getting his wind back
he's
now. So now he's playing how he's supposed to play. So
yep,
so that's what we got to look out for.
yeah, and you know, we got a second game on tonight. Is actually going on right now. The Timberwolves lead the Spurs series 1-0. They're playing tonight, and Wemby had a kind of a lackluster game, I thought, in game one. But I think they're kind of slightly winning right now as we speak. So they're looking, but at the end of the day, the Timberwolves don't care because the Timberwolves, they only want to go in and win one game. If they can get two, that's great. But I don't think the Timberwolves are going to push really too hard, if they get behind or whatever tonight, because they already stole the game, and that's really all
Yes.
you're trying to do when you need a road team. And then to
Mhm.
have Anthony Edwards come back, with all the bad knee and everything, you could tell he wasn't 100%. I believe he had 18 points in the first game. He came back and really sparked them, down the stretch. And so, I mean, this team won, won the last series and beat the Denver Nuggets without him.
Yeah.
So now you add him in the mix and give him a little bit of, get that extra juice from him, and he contributes 18 points. You got Wimby out there. He's like he's like a fly swatter out there. He's swatting everything. His defensive prowess is insane. We talked about that before. This kid is just amazing. But this is his first playoffs too, right? So the
Yeah.
pressure, and the Timberwolves are a veteran team, right? So it's his first playoffs. So we're gonna see how they respond tonight.
Yeah, I'm watching the game catch right now, and Wimby balling right now. He got 11 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, and Anthony Edwards 3 points, 1 of 6 shooting, 1 of 4 from three. So Wimby balling. Like I have
Yeah.
him every time I do a fantasy lineup. He's the centerpiece of it. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
he's
but I don't really think, like I said, the Timberwolves don't really care. They would like to go up 2-0 and you can't like give games back, but they know
yeah.
when they get them in, they know when they get them in Minnesota, that crowd is crazy. The
Oh
energy is
yeah.
coming through the stadium. And then now they have home court, advantage right now. So
But I just worry about Anthony Edwards and his knee. Like, the injury at this point of the season, like everybody playing hurt, but it's like if it's a knee injury that calls for worry right there, because it's like that's your star player, you know.
yeah,
And if you don't have Randall or anybody else stepping up to get those minutes plus those points and everything that
yep,
he does to change the game, is like it's hard. It's hard to beat a team like San Antonio that's healthy.
yeah.
They got so much coming at you.
That's a tough one, and San Antonio's been the second best team, I think, in the NBA all season. I mean, behind
Yeah,
OKC, I think in the whole league, I think they've been better than the Pistons. And so, we're gonna see how but they're a young team. De'Aaron Fox, they got to get more out of him too. He didn't have a great game last game either. You
yeah.
know, they got to get more out of him. Castle, he's gonna get his points.
Well, I think because I don't know. I feel like Fox is just the old. He said he's the old head now, so he's playing.
He
He's
ain't even
playing a
30, I
role
don't
that.
think.
Yeah, but they consider him the old head because everybody else is
Yeah.
younger. So he's like, he's there for like the veteran leadership and stuff like that. But he still can ball. Like he's still a baller. So, but it's
Oh,
like,
he can hit you for 30 a night if
yeah.
you let him loose.
But he knows his role. Like he knows those other guys. They run into but he's gonna play his role pretty good. And I think he's pretty solid. He's gonna have it. He's gonna have a couple games where he has to step up. He has 12 points right now too.
Oh, see, yeah.
I'm looking at
See,
this right now. He's 4 for 7, 2 for 2 from 3. So
that's big. That's
he's
huge.
balling. So
Yep. Um, I think this week since our last podcast, Lonnie and friends, we talked a lot about the NBA draft. We talked about the Cleveland Browns because this continues to get national coverage, and I kind of raised the alarm like 2-3 weeks ago about man, y'all ain't got no quarterback and everything, and I kind of said that Watson should get the nod, and then everybody, all the sportscasters all over the country start jumping on this because one of the reporters, from you guys, said that, hey, this is it. You kind of refute. You said, well, I'm going to refute this. There's a couple of podcasts that you follow that said, she was just chasing the story, and she's just trying to cause trouble and everything like that. And Munkin kind of got on and was kind of talking a little bit too about the situation too. But make no mistake about it, they can't candy coat this situation. No matter how they try to put this fire out, this is going to be a hot topic all season until one of them finally come through and emerge as the number one person. And going into the camp, you kind of have to let them have their competition, and then you kind of have to really define who's going to be the leader of this team, because a team going into the season without with controversy at quarterback, without a true leader, a true where the players don't have full belief on who should be starting, or there's a controversy or split amongst the players about who should be starting, you don't want that at all either. So you need to go in there and kind of like, after the first preseason game, kind of say, hey, this is going to be the guy who is going to be the number one, because I think they've earned it during the camp. And now, you can't let this linger, especially with only 3 preseason games. You got to let it kind of go.
Yeah, Munkin already said this. He said that he wants to have a set QB1 by the start of training camp, so they can just go get their certain reps, and like that's what it is. So it's no like nobody's guessing and stuff like that. Why this person isn't getting this? It's already structured that everybody knows what they're getting and stuff like that. But I mean, also to go with this answer at quarterback, I keep seeing some rumors that that they may trade my boy, your boy, Stefanski's boy. But I don't know how true it is. It's a whole bunch of stuff out there. But
I mean, if they trade Gabriel,
it said Atlanta or to the Buccaneers.
Okay, they get a 6th round pick. They get a 6th round pick for him. They threw away a 3rd to get him, to draft him. He didn't work out. They get a 6th round pick for him.
It is what it is. At the end of the day, it is what it is. The thing about it is, once Taylor Green got drafted, that just X'd him out. Like it's sayonara. Like either he's going to get released, he's going to get traded. There's nothing he can do now, because it's like they're already showing you that they want to move on from you. Because why would you get another quarterback? Yeah. I mean, I guess you can say the same thing about Shedeur, but we know what the thing is for Shedeur. Munkin likes Shedeur, so he's not going anywhere. The eyeball out is Dylan Gabriel. Like it's.
Well, the X factor is Taylor Green. I mean, you got 2 guys, in Watson and all of a sudden you got this F-35 jet you bring in at quarterback. I mean, this guy, you're showing reels of this guy playing, and this guy, when he takes off, it's like you're not catching him. At 4.3, he gets loose, he's gone.
his stride. You saw the post that I posted. His
Yeah,
stride
yeah,
is just like Colin Kaepernick.
yeah.
Like people, I don't know if anybody sees that. Like the way he runs the ball, the stride is almost similar to Colin Kaepernick. And I'm like, this is Colin Kaepernick 2.0.
And he's
Nobody,
faster. And he's
yeah,
faster.
yeah. But the way they both had the long stride, so you cover
Mhm.
more ground, and it's like how I used to run. It's like nobody's catching you, especially in open field. Yeah.
And I haven't looked at
Um,
his college stats either, as far as passing and everything. I wonder why he wasn't higher on the list of quarterbacks to be taken this year.
yeah.
But
Yeah, they said he has some his issues like most players do. Like most quarterbacks aren't like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. But the thing that bothers me with like when the haters come after Shador, the biggest thing that bothers me is that it's like they want him to be Tom Brady like right away. He's not good. He didn't play good. This and this and that. Like of course he didn't. He's a rookie. He's a rookie
yeah,
playing on a terrible team that didn't get time before he started with the ones to even prepare to get acclimated with the offensive line, the receivers, and all this stuff. So, how can you expect a rookie to come in and be Tom Brady or like not make mistakes,
yeah.
not hold the ball too long because the offensive line is letting these guys get past the line and he's just running around trying to make plays because the play probably broke down or like he missed some stuff too, but I'm not taking that away. He did miss some passes, but a lot of those interceptions wasn't all his fault either because the receivers were tipping the ball because they were dropping passes, tipping it in the air, and like a lot of stuff.
Well,
But
it's funny because you say that. I mean, he was running for his life in Colorado, right? When he was his father
bad
couldn't
offensive
protect him.
line.
His father couldn't protect him. He was running for his life, right? And then he comes to Cleveland. He was running for his
Well,
life.
hold on now. You said his father can. It's not it's the team that he went to. The thing about it, okay, Dylan Gabriel was
Who's in charge of recruiting the line?
well.
These
They
boys
were
for to protect us to protect them.
the 2 years before they got there. Colorado was 1-14 or whatever it was. They they
I
they,
understand that.
they didn't win any. They have no recruits. They have no top talent, right? They come there. They have to rebuild that same thing they did at the
So
previous school.
year one, he was running for his life. Okay, so now you go out and you got a little, you got a little oomph behind you after year one. But year two, he was still running for his life at
Yeah, but then
Colorado.
they were playing better though. They played better. They started
Well,
winning games. They started
no, they
doing.
didn't win. They didn't win
He
that
was
many. They
doing his
didn't win that
thing.
many games. They didn't
They
win
they
that many games this senior year.
thought he went 9-3 his last year.
His last season at was
Yeah,
Colorado
I
9-3.
thought it was
I
like
thought
nine
that
and
was the
three. Yeah,
first year. I thought
was
that
it?
was his first year.
No,
I
it couldn't
thought
have been the
this.
first year because
Now
they.
this first year he the second year they was horrible.
Well,
I
well,
almost thought that
the
Deion
year which color had the Heisman is the year they went 9-3. That's
who
what I thought. Anyway, yeah,
yeah it's all one of
we don't have
those.
a
You know,
stat.
we
We'll
can do.
look it
I
up.
can look it up, but you know it
Somebody
is.
can fact check us in the comment section.
Yeah, yeah.
Chat.
But anyway, but it seems like he had some bad habits that he bought from Colorado with and things. He bought those holding on to the
Uh,
ball too long, and he bought those over to the NFL. And we're gonna see this year, right? We're gonna give him a little bit of a chance.
I want to know why that's the bad. You saying he brought his bad habits, but
He
if he's
did.
running, I mean, I guess he can throw the ball away and just he get
Holding the
I
ball
guess
too long, not
just throw the
helping his
ball away.
guy, not
Yeah,
reading the defense quick enough, not and all these guys. Just so you know, you know it. In the NFL, what they rookies struggle with man-to-man coverage because now they have to throw tight windows.
yeah.
They got to throw in tight spaces. When somebody plays zone against a rookie can eat that up, right? But when you play man and you force them just to hitch just a little bit, and they're tightly covered, and now they got to start reading their second, their third, and fourth outlet.
Throws that timing off. Yeah.
It throws their timing off, and then they scared. Then if they throw that ball in this errant pass, playing man to man, they're gonna get picked off. So everybody know this when rookies come in. They know,
Yeah.
hey, we play zone. They're gonna read the zone. When we play man to man, hold that ball just a little bit longer, and that's a sack.
Yeah, but it's also funny though. Like I said before, like it's funny how they want him to be Peyton Manning when there's MVP candidates that were throwing 4 picks in multiple games in a season, and they saying he making bad decisions. He's a rookie. It's supposed to happen. Like a seasoned veteran that's an MVP candidate shouldn't be throwing 4 picks in a game if he's that much better. So everybody's makes mistake, but don't treat a rookie like he's
have. And I told you this last year. I told you this last season on the podcast. Shedeur Sanders don't have time.
Yeah, because
time is not on his side.
Well,
okay,
yeah.
When you're a 5th round pick, you don't have time. When you're a 1st round pick, you got a lot of time. But when you're a 5th round pick,
he wasn't supposed to be a 5th round pick.
Well, we understand that, but he still don't have time. You know why he don't have time? Because Cleveland fans don't have the patience to find their next quarterback.
Yeah,
they don't have 2 years
me.
for him to become a superstar. Yeah. Blah blah blah. Y'all ain't had a quarterback in 30 plus years. he ain't got no time. Time is not on his side.
I always say in my groups that I'm in with the Browns, I say we have a grass is always greener mentality. We always thinking about the next quarterback. We treating an NFL team like it's a high school or a college team, and we can't treat a professional team like that because we'll never find our franchise quarterback if we think like that. Every single time this a new quarterback comes up in the draft or like up and coming quarterback, like we always want the new shiny thing.
And I don't think, to be honest with you, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm just going to say it. I think I might have said something to you and maybe text you something like that. I don't think Todd Monken is the right coach for that team. I don't think he's going to be good enough to be able to win a lot of games with Cleveland Browns. Just from the fact of, I think you got the probably the worst coach available because nobody didn't really want to go to Cleveland. Remember, there was 10 vacancies this year, and all the good coaches was gone. Y'all were the last one. Monken was like the last hire almost of every team. So y'all got everybody that did not want Monken. Now, that's how I look at it. I'm just saying that is true. Y'all was like the last team to get a coach out of the 10 vacancies this season. So everybody had interviewed.
Waited. I think they waited. I think
they didn't wait.
I think he waited.
No one wanted to come to Cleveland and deal with Deshaun Watson. Nobody wanted to deal with that mess. But Dylan Gabriel, because you got 3 quarterbacks. So Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson, and Gabriel.
I don't think he's the worst quarterback. He's not the worst coach. Because
nobody
about it is when you do what you do at Georgia, 1 or 2 national championships as an offensive coordinator, you go to Baltimore, do the same thing, build that offense up. Like you're the hot ticket.
Well, I mean, do you think that him and Lamar Jackson got along 100%?
They may not.
I mean, he was responsible. The whole coaching staff got fired.
Well,
even a guy that had been there for 18 years and won a championship.
When we got Lamar Jackson sleeping in film study, like doing stuff like that, like what are you supposed to think? Like it's not the coach's fault. Like that's character.
But again, I'm putting it out there. I'm just saying. All right. Now because I'm sure come mid-season, if things don't go right, y'all gonna be wanting Monken gone too. Because y'all gonna say, well, he wasn't even our choice. Let's do something different.
Well, he's an offensive coach, so that was our main need. I think that's the reason why we got him, and he can make an offense better. So that was our maybe
the Patriots will fire Mike Vrabel and he'll come available next season.
No, you're a bull.
I don't even want to get into that. I don't even want to get into that one either. I don't even want to get into that one. That's this more controversy on top of more controversy, and so that's crazy. All right, so my prediction is, and it's not a secret. It's not what everybody not thinking, right? LeBron James' playoff run ends this series against OKC. I mean, he had a good game last night. But
he didn't have no help.
Huh?
He didn't have help.
Well, you got Reeves there, the guy that everybody's talking about. He should be getting $50 million next year in his next deal. Okay, that he's he's part of a big 3, right? And I know he's coming off an injury, but if you ain't gonna contribute, sit your you know what down. Okay. The way he played last night was trash. Okay. And you expect him to be dropping 20, 25 points a game. All right. So I don't want to hear nothing about him and all this, that he got to have help and all this stuff like that. We know if Luka Doncic was playing, and let me just say this, if Luka Doncic was playing, it wouldn't make a big difference, but I don't think they would still beat OKC because you had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander last night had his worst game. He had 18 points. He had like 7 or 8 turnovers last night. He really didn't look good. Looked like the week off did him bad. Okay. But when you start looking at the situation over and over again, and you say to yourself, wait a minute, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he didn't score 20 points, and this is like the first time in the playoff game in forever, or any game that he didn't score 20 points. He had his worst night, and they still lost by 20 points.
Well,
because of the others.
I don't think you're giving Smart, because Smart was checking him. I don't think you're giving. I don't think you're giving Smart and the Lakers enough credit because they actually played him well.
Smart played them really, really hard. Smart is a heck of a defensive player.
So, but you're taking. I feel like you're taking away from what they did, though, by saying that. You know,
they lost by 20. What do you want me to say?
I mean,
what do you want to say?
Nobody else scored. Nobody else scored. That's why he stopped the main. He cut the snake head off, but then other guys. Let me see. Look at this. You look at this. Holmgren went off 24 and 12. So that's what I'm saying. Like. But the Lakers didn't have anybody else to.
But you know what? The other, Williams didn't play. He was hurt. So that's your offset from Luka being out.
Oh yeah. No, but OKC has a full squad though. It ain't just them.
Oh, the Lakers got a full squad too. The Lakers got a deep bench. They deep. Look, since our last podcast, what have they done? They outed Houston.
Vanderbilt broke his thumb.
Who?
Vanderbilt broke his thumb. He only had 6 minutes, so that was at the beginning. He's out. He was out.
Well,
so
Vanderbilt hasn't done nothing. He hasn't.
Yeah, but he was guarding. He was defending, but he's not a scorer. He's like a defender and rebounder. But yeah,
I mean, So the 41-year-old man,
still balling.
He balling.
12 for 17. I mean,
but I have to ask. Does he re-sign with the Lakers next year? Because, he's got like a $52 million price tag. My only thing is when that topic actually comes up, whether LeBron James is going to leave LA and try to chase a championship somewhere else, I would say no. One, because that has been his MO. To when a team ain't winning, to go to a team that is winning. He don't want that label anymore, right? And I don't think that he's going to go back to Cleveland because that's not where he want to live. You're going to trade in all the opportunity of LA just to go to Cleveland to retire and try to chase a championship. And there's no doubt about it. I do think that if he went with this, the way the Cleveland Cavaliers are constructed, if he went there, they would have a little bit of a better chance. But they still not beating OKC, even if he jumped over the conference.
I think he's going to go to Cleveland because it's where he can retire. He can go out in retirement and try to win one again. That's one thing. 2, it doesn't matter about LA. He can always get to LA. He can get his own. He got his own private jet. Like he's away from home like 40-something games, 41 games anyway. So it's like
once you get out here in LA, you're from California. I mean, don't try to tell me that you love living in Texas.
No, I'm from Cleveland first.
You're from Cleveland. I understand that.
Born and raised.
But that California. If you ever have an opportunity to get back to California, you'd be maybe giving it a serious thought.
Miss that California, boy. That California sunshine.
So now you're in the same position. You lived in Cali before. You from Cleveland, lived in Cali. You wouldn't want to go back to Cleveland again. So now what? Same thing.
I think for him it would be the nostalgia, though. Like you won a chip. Your last chip was there, or no, it was LA, but. You had one. You want to get it. I mean, I don't know. I think the team, like you said, the team breakdown. And I told you this before. If you insert LeBron James in this lineup, that we have with the Cavaliers right now but Harden wasn't there when I said it. But now Harden's there when you add LeBron at the power small forward or power forward, whatever you want. Well, it wouldn't be power forward. Just put him in between Harden and Mobley in small forward spot.
Who's the ball? Who's getting the last shot? Who's taking the last shot? If LeBron
Everybody,
James is on the team,
everybody's gonna
LeBron's
be
the way it's
open.
constructed.
LeBron James is penetrating pitching. They're gonna be spotted up. Mitchell and
who gets
Harden
the last shot on this team if LeBron James went back to Cleveland? Who gets the last shot?
They're gonna defer to LeBron.
Okay, then. Okay.
They're gonna defer to LeBron, but LeBron is gonna make the better decision because if he drives to the hole and he's double teamed, they're gonna be ready to shoot.
I mean, with Mobley and all the guys y'all got, I mean, it would be kind of insane. It would be
because you wouldn't have to trade anybody. You can keep some of the guys that we have.
But again, he would still have that sign on his back. Chasing titles.
I don't think
still chasing titles.
Like,
and I will tell you this: LeBron James, you can't put a price tag on what his value is. So you say $52 million, but you can't put a price tag on LeBron James because what he means to the cities that he play in, how much the draw that he put in. I mean, when he left Cleveland the second time after the championship, Cleveland lost a lot of money. A lot of money just from the community, just for people coming there and coming to the games and stuff like that. Millions, hundreds of millions, maybe $1 billion when LeBron James left the second time again. But he had completed his mission, and that was the end of it. But when you start talking about money, we're going to talk a little bit about Jaylen Brown. For the Celtics, he's eligible for a contract extension in July. That would take him, possibly to $70 million a year. What? You have Jason Tatum already making 60.
Is that the new TV deal or whatever too?
Well, yeah, he his other extension, I think he's going to make 65. And next year and the year after that, he's going to make 68 million. Okay, now you give him a little bit of an extension after he already has a supermax. He's eligible in July to sign another extension off the supermax, stacking now. Okay, but are you going to play this? Are you going to pay Jaylen Brown $70 million a year, and you got Jason Tatum at $60 million? Somebody's got to go off of this team, and the way these salaries are, and looking at a first round knockout against the 76ers was just absolutely ridiculous after leading the series 3-1, and then you lose 3 games to the 76ers, and all of those games were at home. So now, granted, you didn't have Jason Tatum, and Jason Tatum, because he had some problems with his knee, the back of his knee or whatever, and so they didn't want to lose him. But now you're starting to see, like, you got these two superstars that's been with each other for like 7 or 8 years now, and they won a championship together. Is it time to let one of these guys go? Especially when you look at the Jaylen Brown price tag, because he was in the MVP running this season, right? Top 2 or 3.
Yeah, I'm wondering if did the money go up, like the new TV deal? That's why the money is getting. Did the salary cap go up or something like that? Because like $70 million. That's a lot of money for basketball. Like a year.
Well, he's due 60. He's due $65 million next year.
Yeah, you can't.
The year after that, $69 million.
You gotta.
When he gets his extension,
or that's a deal he already signed though, right?
He already signed. He's already in this.
So he's due for extension. Okay,
and he's eligible for an extension in July. So that extension, they already paid him $69 million for the last deal of his supermax coming in 2 years. So this next extension will be over $70 million if you want to keep him. I mean, is he worth being the highest paid player in the NBA? That is the big question.
He's a champion.
And remember, you still got to construct other people around him.
Right. But when you're a champion, it's kind of hard to like. I mean, you can justify, but it's kind of both ways. You can't. He's a champ. He won a championship recently too. So, what is Shea making similar to that?
Is Shea
SGA Alexander? So yeah, I don't even know what he's gonna be making. So it's like, is he? Are we
He's not
saying
even
that
he's
Jaylen
not
Brown is
even
better
top
than?
five. He's not even top five in pace, Shay.
I mean, I guess that's probably just OKC though, because of where he's at. But um, like, are we saying Jaylen Brown is better than Shea, the MVP? You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
that's what I'm saying. So it's
no.
like 70 million is it doesn't justify that way, but they both have championships. So it's like, how does he make weight that much more? And
Yeah,
they kind of
Jokic,
play
I
the
think,
same.
is in the 50s this year, 52 or 53 this year
Yeah.
too. You know, you got Steph Curry up there making the money.
And
Um,
I never like talking about people's money, but it's just like,
I never like talking about people's money either, but when you start talking about $70 million per year and if he's worth it, and I would say no. $70 million a year is a little too steep. I think you trade him for picks and get a king's ransom that'll set your team up with first round picks for 5, 6 years. And this look at what the Knicks did, and stuff when they made a trade. Come on, this it's crazy.
yeah, it's hard. It's
So
hard to have two players making that much money on the same team. Yeah, it's
but
because
who would you keep? Who would you keep? Who would you keep? Jason Tatum, or are you keeping Brown?
I would keep Brown. I mean, I like Tatum too, but I think
That's heavy.
Brown's more. I don't know. Tatum, that Achilles tear, and it's not his fault, but at the same time, it's like the two games are different,
Mhm.
and they play different positions in a way, so it's kind of hard to. Yeah, I like Brown more because I like what he does off the court and stuff like that. He's smart and stuff like that, but I don't know how his teammates feel about him. So that's another story. We don't know the backstory of like how he is with his teammates and stuff like
Well, he
that.
was complaining about the refs and stuff, and all this came up, and he was complaining about the refs, about flopping, and that all this stuff, and he got fined too, 50,000. That ain't nothing for him, right? That's
Yeah,
chump change. That's not even that's a half a quarter's pay for one
drop
game.
in the bucket.
Yeah, they're dropping the bucket for him, so he
big
didn't really care about that.
big perk got on him. He's like he's like pretty much y'all you talking all this stuff and they came in your house with muddy shoes on or order Uber or what is it, DoorDash with your credit card. Just like he
And you
went
know
off
what?
on.
He gets a lot of calls too. So it's the pot calling the kettle black. So he gets a lot of calls too. Jaylen Brown. He gets a lot of calls during the
Yeah,
regular season. The
yeah,
problem is that playoff basketball and the officiating is different, right? It's different. They're gonna let you bang a little bit more. They're gonna let you bang a little bit harder. I mean, I seen some of these games. I mean, they was letting people damn near knock each other out, and they kept the whistles. They weren't even calling
yeah. But
anything.
sometimes it's not consistent though, because I be seeing sometimes like they'll call something on somebody, but then it's like totally different for somebody else, and it's like I thought we were playing playoff basketball, but then y'all call something like this. It's like, what are y'all looking
I
at?
mean, they gotta call. They gotta call. They gotta call. They gotta call normally what they would call. But you got the last second shot, fourth quarter, 7 or 8 minutes left in a tightly contested game. These guys are gonna let you bang, and especially if they've been early on. These officials are gonna show you how they're gonna be calling this game. Early on, they're gonna show you how they're gonna be calling this game, and you have to kind of know, hey, they're calling this game tight. It's the playoffs. They're calling this game tight, or they're letting you play. And so,
Yeah,
complaining about the ref, they didn't win. The problem that I have is that you got your tail beat and you let the 76ers beat you. Then you complain about the refs. So it's like you crying over you. It's like the crybaby thing at that point. So now
yeah,
now you crying over it because you lost. You didn't lose because of the refs, bro. You lost because you lost 3 games
yeah.
to the 76ers.
You let your foot off their neck and let them come back.
Yep.
Yeah,
And so I don't like the fact I didn't like the way it all went down because he waited to complain about the refs and all this stuff after the series and after he got beat. It didn't look good. It wasn't a good look. And I think he has to be better and just say, you know what? Yeah, the refs, you win some, you lose some, but he didn't even preface to say, I don't even think I didn't watch the whole thing, but I don't even think he said, I'm gonna say all that to say that the refs didn't lose us this series. We lost the series because of what we didn't do. We
yeah,
didn't stop them. We didn't shoot the threes that we needed to do, and we didn't play good defense. We didn't have an answer for Embiid because he wasn't supposed to be a factor in this series because he wasn't supposed to play in this daggone series.
Yeah, when you play basketball, you know, like you can't pull the wool off nobody's eyes. Like everybody's played, like nobody's gonna take your side when you start complaining about the rest after the game because you lost. Like we saw the tape, like we saw what you did. Y'all missed threes after three after three after three. So maybe the refs call some calls in spots they shouldn't call, but at the end of the day, y'all still miss threes. Like y'all they shoot too many threes. I was sitting with my wife watching the game earlier, and I was like, watch how many threes both teams shoot. It was like 8-1 to layup. You know what I'm saying? They're shooting like so many threes. I'm like, can we get something to the bucket? If you don't see nothing going in on the three, go to the bucket.
Yeah,
See?
well, they're going to have to evaluate how they, because that's their whole that is how their team is constructed.
Yeah,
50 to 60%. Yeah, 50 to 60% of their shots are 3-pointers. And when you're on, you're on. And then when you're not, you're not. So now do they go back to the drawing board next season and say, you know what, we can't win like this. We're gonna have to like change that scenario. We're gonna have to get 70% 2-pointers and 30% 3-pointers or 35% 3-pointers. We're gonna have to change that 50 to 60% making threes. But that's Joe Mazzulla's system. Yeah. So now it hasn't worked now in a couple of years.
Well, it was created because everybody, I feel like, in my opinion, they wanted to try to compete with Steph Curry. That's where it all this stuff about 3-point shots, because he was the pinnacle of it at this stage. Like nobody in 2015 on, it was like, okay, we can't keep up with this dude. He makes way too many threes, so we got to get everybody shooting more threes, practicing threes in practice, and like find the best sharpshooters and stuff like that, because this dude was killing the game. Like when you think about it, it's like I feel like when Steph Curry, that's why Mark Jackson said he killed the game, because everybody wants to shoot threes now. No big men want to be out at 3-point line. I'm like, get your big butt inside. Like what happened to back to the basket and just dunk on somebody like Shaq and stuff like that? But everybody wants to shoot threes because they saw Steph Curry do it. And I see people when I go play at Lifetime, I go play there, and I'm like, dude, you're not Steph Curry. Stop shooting threes, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I've seen Steph Curry shoot in real life in person, and he practices this every single day, no matter what he's doing.
I saw a hobbled Embiid running down the court, and he tired, right? And he gets the ball behind the 3-point line. He don't want to drive. He just hoists up a 3-pointer, and maybe he does make it sometime. But it's like, yo, man, take your big butt down the block. Now he can bang down the block when he wants to.
Oh yeah,
but when he's hurt, I saw the last game that Bridges came off a screen, and Bridges gave him like a big shove in the stomach, and he wasn't, where he had his ectodectomy there, and it was still kind of sore, and he was done after that. After Bridges gave him a nice shot coming off the screen, he was done after that. He was hobbling, he was bending over, he wasn't the same dude after that. So good for Bridges for finding that sore spot. And he didn't know. They talking about the knee and the hip and all that stuff like that. That thing there, and that takes a long time to heal.
I never really wanted nobody to get hurt, but the old school way of playing sports, that's what we focused on. We focused on, like, I never really talk about it like that when I was playing, but because I really don't want nobody to get hurt like that. But at the same time, we're going to attack that injury.
Yep.
The ankle hurting, we attack that ankle. If that knee hurt, we coming at you, making you work. So yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. I'm gonna get to this story too. I mean, I saw something pop up that Shiloh Sanders, in bankruptcy for almost $12 million, right? So people they didn't explain the headline. So people's like, $12 million, he going crazy. He's spending all of his money. He's spending all his daddy money. He's doing this to do that. But this is not because of that. This is because of a civil lawsuit that he had against them when he was 15. It looks like a security guard or somebody in school was trying to take his cell phone away from him, and then he got beat down. And the security guard got, really injured in the hospital and everything like that. and he turns around and sues Shiloh Sanders and his parents or whatever. But I think this is Shiloh Sanders' debt that he sued him for, 15 years old, for for his actions. But Shiloh Sanders maintains that this was self-defense. He says this was self-defense. But when this case went to a civil court and to trial, Shiloh Sanders didn't show up. So $12 million in the line, it was a default judgment because he didn't show up, and now the court says he owes the $12 million, and so he's saying I got to put this in bankruptcy. But unfortunately, this type of thing is a debate whether this can be thrown in bankruptcy. When you injure someone and you try to get out of it and file bankruptcy, it's always a big thing. So my biggest thing, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered here, but what I wanted to say about it is that how does Shiloh Sanders, Deion Sanders' son, not go to court, or an attorney was not there to make sure that he was represented somehow, and to have this default judgment against him? There's all kinds of questions I got about that. Because you can't be Deion Sanders understanding that your son has this and not go to court and not deal with this situation. So now we're dealing with this 6 years later, 5 or 6 years, 4 years later. And now $12 million. We know Shiloh don't have $12 million. We know he don't have $12 million to have to pay this out. That's why he's trying to do bankruptcy. Now, if the court says you can't file bankruptcy with this, we'll take all your other debts in consideration, but none of this almost $12 million can be part of that. So you owe what you owe. That becomes a problem for Shiloh because he's not worth $12 million.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
How does this happen?
Yeah, that's crazy to me because I'm like, I thought it was something similar to what you said at the beginning, and didn't know that it was when he was younger. So I was like, I thought there was like he's a minor and all that stuff, and like how can he go after him for that? I'm like, but do they have the evidence that it was him? I want to know that too. It was, they have it on video. Okay,
this has all been already,
Okay.
They know that this incident happened. It happened. There's no dispute about that. Now, the dispute is whether or not it was self-defense or not. But this guy went through the legal system to sue him for this money, $11 million or whatever. And
it's a lot of money
it went to court, and he didn't show up. So the judge said, okay, he didn't show up to court, so bam, I'm gonna give him the money.
So, I mean,
how does that happen if you're Deion Sanders?
I understand this is a situation, but I kind of go outside the box. I'm like, so why are you the root surface issue I have is the dollar amount, because we know what this is. We know what it is. Yeah. So it's like, if a 15-year-old kid, why are you going for that much money on a 15-year-old kid? You wouldn't do that for any normal 15-year-old kid, right?
No. You're right.
So that's what bothers me with it. That's why I'm like, what? How can you do that to a 15-year-old? If it was my say, if I have a son that's 15-year-old, I ain't got that money. So you're not coming after my kid for that money. So it's like, why are you
sure you ain't got that money, brother?
Maybe somewhere else, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it just seems like it's a money grab. Like, a lot of people are just out here for money grabs. Like, you let I don't know, a security guard. I mean, I don't know. Were the injuries worth $12 million? Like that it's a lot of questions I have when it comes to that, when I break it all the way down, because it's like, this dollar amount should have been at this dollar amount. It doesn't make sense.
You don't show up for court. Somebody sued me for $12 million. I'm going to be in court.
I understand the court stuff. He should have been there at the court. Don't get me wrong. Deion should have had him at the court. That's not the problem I have. It's the dollar amount. The dollar amount doesn't make sense. Yeah. Because if you telling me, so at $12 million, you telling me that you can't walk, you're not doing nothing. You can't do nothing with your significant other. You can't do nothing. That's the way I
Well,
look at it.
I
$12
mean,
million.
is your ego bruise worth 12 million? Because you got beat down by a 15-year-old.
Really? So a random dude in the hood beat you up. It's 15-year-old. You gonna try to get 12 million out of him? No, you can't.
No,
Like
we know this is a
we
money
know it's a
grab.
money grab. It's a money grab.
But a money grab needs to be challenged in court. You got to show up for court and make sure that people, hey, look, you got a lawyer. You got a lawyer. How does this, I don't even understand how
But how was the
Dion even not let
representation?
this happen.
But how was the representation for Dion? Did Dion have the right representation to tell him, like, okay, you have to go do this. You have to take Shiloh in to do this. Like, you don't know what we don't know because it was so many years ago. So like whoever he went to probably told him, like, oh no, you good. Don't worry about that. We gonna take care of it. But then they didn't take care of it. So it's like one of those things where you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of,
well, why didn't you countersue for the 12 million?
well, because
well, you sued me for 12 million. I'm gonna sue you for 12 million. Because you actually, it was self-defense, brother. I'm suing you for 12 million. He could have turned around and countersued him for 12 million too. This is the type of thinking I'm saying that I'm not quite sure if Dion was engaged with him or what happened. Were they out playing football at Jackson State at the time? What the heck was going on with this?
Something got lost in translation. I feel like, because it's like I don't see Dion allowing his son to miss this. Something got lost in translation somewhere. I mean, I'm not making excuses, but it is kind of an excuse, but I just don't. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It's totally. It's
crazy.
Well, I mean, I can't even. I
I
can't even imagine. Okay, I can't even imagine. So I'm looking at this score, 64-35, San Antonio, 9:48 left in the third quarter. It's like okay. So you know what, guys? We're gonna sit all of our starters right now because we're not coming back from 30 points. We came here to do what we wanted to do, and that was split. This is what the Timberwolves are saying. And I told you this earlier in the show. I said exactly what I said this early in the show.
Well, Anthony Edwards 3 for 10, so he just ain't playing good.
No, he don't need. Hey, let's just go out there. If this gets out of control, yeah. If it gets out of control, guys, we came here. We got the split. We still, don't worry about it. And this is bad television, by the way. This is bad television for the viewers on the West Coast.
Well, yeah.
Huh? The viewers on the West Coast are going to look at a 30-point game in a second half of a game. It's bad television.
Well, yeah, because that Knicks game, the previous Knicks game, was like a 39-point loss. Like that was like these games aren't even close. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's totally bad, man. It's totally bad. So yeah, did we miss anything? We got anything else on the agenda tonight?
No, I think we're good.
Think we covered a lot. Yeah, keep watching the NBA playoffs. These series will be damn near over next week. They're playing every other day, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens in this series. All these games down the stretch here, but we're gonna be here with you. Because as football fans, the only thing we got to hang our hat on is basketball. Now that the playoffs are here, we're gonna ride this 3 months, all the way through June until we get closer to camp. We're gonna take like 6 weeks off until the camp stop opening after the NBA finals, and then we're just gonna dive into it. But we're looking at the NFL schedule coming out probably in the next week or so. And so we'll be able to talk a little bit about that. And then we also had some rookie mini camps already happen. I know the Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys are having rookie mini camp. And then I think they have another camp coming up in June as a team. The teams have their kind of like mini camps in June where the rookies and the veterans come in June or the end of May. So we'll be able to talk a little bit about that. One thing before we leave I didn't get to, and I think that was Russell Wilson. The Jets want to sign Russell Wilson. Okay, he was there last week. He worked out. They say, hey, we want to sign you. I think Tavares Jackson, he went to Green Bay. So now they're looking at Russell Wilson. But Russell Wilson's got a potential TV deal on one of the networks. I'm not sure if it's CBS or whatever. So Russell Wilson is saying, wait a minute, guys, yeah, I'm kind of weighing my options now. Do I go TV? He said, but I still can play. But do I go to the TV side now and retire, or do I give him one more year here with the Jets? Me, I'm going to TV. I'm going to TV. Even though he don't have to change addresses because it's the Jets. He's going from the Giants to the Jets. He ain't got to change his address. But, and what they play in league minimum, I don't know, maybe he gets $5 or $6 million out of the whole deal living in New York. Or do you just take the opportunity that TV wants you now? Like Mike Tomlin, TV got him, right? He's going to be on NBC. So does Russell Wilson go into TV, or does he take the Jets job, backup job?
I mean, depending on what the money look like, I mean, you're gonna have a multi-year TV deal. I'm sure it's gonna be pretty good because you're an NFL champion. Like,
yeah,
you gotta take that money. They're gonna pay you, and you got the smile, you got the charisma, you got everything that they're looking for. So, and you got the wife. So,
and you got the wife, and she don't want to leave. Yeah. She don't want to leave New York. By the way, she don't want to leave New York. That's what she makes. I mean, Colorado.
Is that where it's gonna be?
I believe so. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because the TV states they work out of New York usually. They might have to go to California, but they primarily work out of New York, like all the shows, or somewhere close. But I'm sure Sierra do not want to go back to Denver because her career does not work in Denver, Colorado. But in New York, yeah.
Is it NFL Network or what is it?
I thought it was CBS. Or one of the major networks like CBS or whatever, or Fox. Okay. So he can create a bid between. He's seeing all this money Tom Brady and all these guys making, man, in TV. Get your butt in TV. Mm-hmm. It's a cushy job, right? You don't got to get beat down, worry about the media crushing you. You don't got to mentor these young guys no more, man. You had a great career. It's going to be a debate whether it was a Hall of Fame career, but you still had a great career. You got a chip.
Definitely a Hall of Fame career.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
It is.
It's his last 3 or 4 years in the league. When he left Seattle, we don't know if that.
I'm just speaking for Seattle. I'm speaking for Seattle though, but.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We don't quite know if that's the deal. All right, we're going to get out of here. We're over our time a little bit, but guys, thanks for watching. This has been Chasing the Highlights podcast with Lonnie Washington and my good friend Tony Robinson. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Come alive, 2X players in the studio, ready to thrive. Friends and fans, united with the truth, sharing the passion. Yeah, that's our proof. Chasing the highlights, where dreams come alive. 2X players in the studio, ready to thrive. Friends and fans, united with the truth, sharing the passion. Yeah, that's our proof. We treasure the legends, those who paved our way. In every single chapter, we're here to stay, breaking down plays.